Welcome on into the 6th episode of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. I'm your host, Jake Wetzel. Today, we'll have the special teams and defensive backs coach, Mac Alexander, wide receivers coach and recruiting coordinator, Pat Briningstool, and volleyball seniors, Madelynn, Culp, Bria Augustine, and Madison Gardner. But first, we'll give a recap of this weekend's events done by the Mustangs. Adam Samigard is your Hatch Toyota Male Athlete of the Week, while Jasmine Walker is your Hatch Ford Female of the Week. The football team, volleyball team, women's tennis team, and men's golf team were all in action over the past week. The volleyball team went 0-2. The Mustangs would lose to Arkansas Fort Smith 3-0 and Oklahoma Christian 3-1. The football team was defeated by Division I Abilene Christian 34-7. This brings their record to 2-2 on the year. 2-0 at home, 0-2 on the road. The women's tennis team would compete at the ITA Regionals in Dallas, Texas. They have a good showing but could not advance to the ITA Cup. Their season ends now and it will be postponed until January. The men's golf team would finish tied for first with Sonoma State University in the NCAA West Regional Fall Final at -14 or 14 under. Adam Semigard tied 4th overall and he finished shooting -9 or 9 under. In his round 2 and 3 were both bogey free. Adam Niles finished tied for 8th, shooting 4 under par. Okay. So I'm joined here today on Rawhide's Mob by Madelynn, Culp, Madison Gardner, and Bria Augustine. So, how are you guys all doing today?
Pretty good. You know.
We have practice this morning. It's definitely been started off right.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys can answer this however you guys want. Looking back to your guys' freshman year, how have you guys grown as a player and an individual?
Golly. Okay, I'll go first. So my freshman year, I was super young, I feel like, compared to everyone else. I also, didn't really know myself, I think, as, a person. So, coming into new school, since I transferred here, I think I grew a lot as, knowing myself. Playing-wise, I feel a lot more competitive and, smart as a player. At my old school, I was pretty well known for volleyball, and here nobody knew me, which is so great. I kind of love it, honestly, but it's definitely a huge shift in the level of play and aggressiveness versus how it used to be for me.
Well, looking back, it's because this is my 5th year now, so definitely have had a good run for volleyball. But going back to freshman year, growing wise is immense. I have learned so much from volleyball and all the different aspects of being here at Western. As a student, I have learned so much. Being from also the different teams that we've had. So I've had each year we've had almost a different group of girls, and so I've learned a lot from each girl that I played with. I've learned a lot from the coaches I've been with. I've been with Hobie for the last 5 years. So growing wise has been immense, and just learning all different types of life experiences just from playing volleyball as a freshman, and then to here we are now.
Yeah, I have a little short answer.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just to get straight to the point, I think definitely freshman year, believe it or not, I was a very shy kid, and so as the years went by, I definitely grown to develop my self-confidence. So I've learned not to take any. Oh, it was the wrong button, but I've grown not to take crap from anybody. So I think that's something I can take away from this experience here.
All right. I like that answer. I like the button pressing. So, all right, first questions for you, Madelynn. So, being a setter, how important is it when, the timing to your hitters? How important is that timing?
Oh, timing's so important. It's being a setter, it's more than just timing too. Because I have to be perfect and put up the best ball I can just for my hitters. My hitters have to be on time as well. So it's crucial. And then knowing that it's not even just timing, it's also connection. I have to connect with each one of my hitters on both like knowing my hitter as there as a person and knowing who they are as a volleyball player and knowing that timing too. Like Bria over here likes a whole different set than one of our outsiders, Jazzy. Or Madison over here likes a completely different set than like our other middle, Zoe. So like knowing their timing and then knowing who they are as a player is, as a setter, you have to know that and know what they need and what they want and then be able to give the best to them.
So would you say knowing them more than like as a person helps you essentially on the court?
Yes, definitely. Definitely helps you on the court.
Okay. Next question would be for you, Madison.
All right.
So you and Zoe have been the forefront of the majority of our blocks this year. How has the defense improved from last year to this year?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think last year me and Zoe were kind of like the backup, so a lot of our time up to this point was like really working on improving our game and being like a force on the court, especially when like we do have the chance to be on the court. So this year I think a lot of it is confidence based, almost in a way, like rebuilding our confidence as players to like yeah, I'm gonna block this ball, or I'm gonna get a good touch so the defense can do it. I also think we spent a lot of time like working on seeing through the net. I don't know if people really understand what that means, but like looking at the other team's hitters so we can kind of time our blocks, get our feet there, get our arms up as like they're supposed to be, and then just kind of building the trust between us and then the second line of defense, like them trusting that we're going to touch the ball or block it back, and us trusting that they're going to be behind us to get the ball even if we don't touch it. I feel like there's a lot.
It's a lot of trust.
It's a lot of trust.
So like you'd say the number one thing then being a middle blocker up front is just the trust in your defense behind you.
I would say so. I think as a middle it's hard to always be running like pin to pin and watching all hitters at all times. It's a lot of mental work too. So yeah, having the trust that like our fellow blockers are going to be where they need to be so we can like balance that out, and then our defense having our backs just like we want to have theirs.
Okay. Bria, this question is for you. So first off, we have to congratulate you on your 1,000 kills that you got.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was not it.
So,
So close.
if we look into your past, you've been named to the LSE second team twice. So how much hard work do you have to put in to get to that point?
For me, it's like a very tricky question because volleyball for me, like all the years I played, like it was never about the awards I received. It was always pretty much an escape from reality. So when I think, yes, you put work into volleyball, but like I don't use that term work for like volleyball, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of time out of your day to like practice with these girls, and I would say, I don't know what else to say.
You got stronger in the weight room too. Think about that as a freshman.
Yeah,
All that time we put in the weight room.
just a lot of time and dedication.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like you need that just to, even if you're not getting the awards, just to be the best person of yourself on the court.
As well as just being authentically yourself, I suppose. So, yeah.
All right. So, who wants to answer this question first? What would you guys tell an incoming freshman? Could be an athlete, could be just a normal student.
Tell an incoming freshman.
Welcome, Cowboy. It's gonna be a ride.
Yeehaw, brothers.
It is going to be a fun ride. Just surround yourself by people you trust. That is the ultimate goal. But other than that, you should be fine.
Yeah, especially here at Western, it's a smaller school. Find your group of friends. Find your group of friends, and remember, like, student athlete, you're a student first, you're a person, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. Like, it's gonna be a ride, and it's a fun one.
Yeah, I agree with the fun part. I think like the biggest thing I can say is have fun and enjoy it. Like you really are only in college like once. Like you only are an undergrad for so long. You're only gonna be an athlete if you're an athlete for your eligibility time. So really take the time out of your day to sit and appreciate what you do have, because it goes by so fast. it goes by. I feel like 3 days ago I was like moving to New York for my freshman year of school, and now I'm graduating, and it's just so crazy to think about. Like, really spend time enjoying what you have.
All right. So I'll ask you this question then first, Madison. What do you want your legacy to be here at WNMU, not just as an athlete, but as a student and a person in the community?
My legacy, I don't really care much about like being well known or like, obviously I love playing sports, but that's like honestly like the last thing on my priority list, really. I really take pride in like the amount of community service I do and like how I help my community and am active in my community. So I hope that if people don't remember the specific things I did for community service, they can at least use me as an example of like, you can still help your community and balance your time and achieve much in school. Yeah, I think just like as maybe an epitome of balance.
Okay. Bria, what do you want yours to be here?
My legacy. Again, a pretty short answer. Is this something I would tell people or like just, okay, my mark, I guess, would be to be authentically yourself, for one, and also, I guess, don't take crap from anybody. Just, I guess I'm reflecting back to what I said like 2 seconds ago, but honestly, it's just only a matter of time till like you realize, hey, like you can be able to stick up for yourself no matter who that person is. Just, yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
All right. Madelynn, anything for you?
Honestly, my legacy I probably have left is volleyball. It's really the hard work, the in and out, the grind. That's probably the one that I've left. But I would say hopefully the one that I'm starting to leave more, like just with this last year, is that like we're students before athletes. And so knowing that like the rest of our life, this, as it's ending for us, like volleyball will end, your sport will end, like know that the rest of your life is ahead of you and that like grades are important, school is important, the outside stuff is important too. So understand like, I hope that's what I'm leaving from this last year for sure.
All right, last question for you ladies. You can either answer it individually or together as a group. What is something that somebody who's not from Silver City has to do before they leave?
I would say one of my favorite things that I've done here is going to the catwalk. It's this hike and it's beautiful. And especially on a sunny day, oh, it's amazing. You can like jump in the water, jump in the river, like you can keep going, like past the signs that say do not keep going. It's really fun.
I would say try to attend all the events, like all the fun life student events that they're put out there. Like that's where you can make friends.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very important thing you should do before you leave.
Good one.
Yeah, Maria.
Honestly, I would say the art walk. I did it one time over summer, and that was the only and first time I've ever done it, but it was the most fun day I think I've ever had in town, ever. Like, just walking around, seeing everything. Obviously, not everybody likes art, that's fine. I like art, so I'm gonna go and do the art walk. But it was, like, really cool. There's a lot of different, like, art styles and forms, and, like, walking into any gallery, I didn't really know what I was gonna expect, or, like, who I was gonna meet. So I really did, like, enjoy that part, and I would recommend it.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming and hanging with me on the podcast today. We're going to be right back after this quick message from our Mustang Pride partner.
No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, Hatch Toyota State Line, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Silver City has the vehicle that will fit you.
Back here live on Rawhide's Mob, I'm here with Coach Pat and Coach Mac. So, what are you guys' assessments of last week's game, and what was the atmosphere like there?
Assessment of the game, I think we showed just how far this program's come in a year and a half under Coach Viehill. When we went toe-to-toe for 3 quarters, for the most part, with a Division I opponent, the atmosphere for them, it was family weekend, so it was really cool for our guys to get a real Division I experience. That's anytime you get a game like that. It was awesome to see our guys fight and show that we belong and we can compete with anybody.
Yeah, I agree with Coach. It was just fun. I thought our guys handled it very well. They were having a good time. They started to believe that everything we've been telling them about us being a good football team was true. And so it was just fun to watch them. You know, it obviously didn't go our way, and we kind of let it slip, but just on the sidelines, it was just fun. And like Coach said, the atmosphere was exciting, and I think they really enjoyed it.
I say being on the sidelines with you guys last week, I could kind of just like everybody was just joyful.
Yep.
Like they were just having a good time.
It was kind of weird. I mean, it's just a positive sign. Like we were losing, but we understand. Okay, we can be a good football team, and just the belief that we've been talking about this program. I think if it finally hit them and it resonates, like, oh yeah, we can win some football games now.
Yeah. So, Coach Mack, what's it been like having Jack as a punter? So far this year, he has 0 touchbacks, and he's got 7 inside the 20.
That's why we brought him here. It's an exciting thing. I told Coach Vigil, you know, when we offered him a scholarship, and that he's going to make our lives a lot easier. And he believed me, and he believed in Jack, and I believed in Jack. Jack was sought after by a lot of most every Division II school in the country, and he wanted to come to Silver City. He's a big outdoorsman, and just likes this area, loves this area. So he's helped us a lot. We've had some struggles on special teams, and just having him back there gives me a ton of confidence that he's gonna get the ball off. We're not hopefully have any miscues on punt, but it's fun to coach him. He has a lot of talent, a lot of potential. Just got to keep him, not that he's not humble, keep him humble and hungry, which he is, and so that he can go achieve what he wants to achieve after this year.
So, also Coach Mack, you're the you're the special teams coordinator and the defensive backs coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, who out of those 2 groups has been your biggest surprise so far?
Oh, well, on special teams, I'm starting 3 freshmen. You have Jack, who's the old man, and then you have 3 freshmen. You have Adrian Zamudio's our kicker, Tanner Bobick's our kickoff guy, and Briningstool's our long snapper. I've been very proud of them because it's 3 freshmen and they've all been doing a great job. Adrian's missed 1 kick all year. Braden's had great snaps. Tanner's hit great balls on kickoff. So I'm not gonna say I'm surprised because I knew they're all talented, but they're very proud of them. On defense, we have so many new guys. I've been very impressed with Q Gallo. Q is a different player than he was in the spring. If you ask him, he was like the 1 DB in the spring. I was like, okay, I'm not sure about. And he came in this fall camp and did what we all knew he could do, and now he's starting and doing a great job. I have a lot of new guys I'm excited about, and so I haven't been surprised because I recruited most of them, but it's just been fun to watch them.
So, Coach Pat, you're the recording coordinator and the wide receivers coach, correct?
Yes.
So, out of your wide receiver bunch, who's been the most intriguing so far this year?
I mean, with anything, getting here 2 weeks right before fall camp, just kind of seeing how everybody react to me, to kind of like just take the question. The 2 guys I've just been the most proud of and intrigued with, if they're buying, it's just the 2 seniors. Because anytime you have guys that have been to multiple schools or have multiple position coaches throughout college, for them to buy in so quickly with my message and be such an extending voice of me on the field and in the meeting room and outside of football, and seeing their buy-in and just their last year of college football, having David Tejas and Vince Rankin as the 2 seniors in the room, they've really stepped up and have helped me a lot as a first-time position coach, and with buying into my message and trying to help them get to having the best senior year they can have. And they've really helped kind of transform this receiver room in just a short, I think it's like 8 weeks here since I've been here. So,
All right, going on to your recruiting side of things now. We had a big recruiting day for our first game of the year. How did those recruits look, and can we expect any more of this in this upcoming season?
yeah, it's kind of exciting. My first kind of organized event, and the other coaches kind of helped with just getting things going, and we had a great turnout. It was awesome to see a bunch of kids from the state of New Mexico come out and watch us play, and we had a bunch of kids also from the state of Arizona come up, and even some drive up from El Paso, and just seeing kids around smiling, watching our guys warm up, and seeing the excitement on their faces of what Western New Mexico football is. And now having them able to go back and they know what the atmosphere is like here and what a game day is like here. And it was cool because we've had some guys that were offered by us over the summer were able to make that trip up, which was good to have them here and watch us get a first win of the season. And the goal is to have another game day visit for our last home game to try and get some more kids out here and kind of have another big high school prospect day that day too.
So obviously you're new to Silver City. How have you been adjusting so far?
I've been adjusting well. Coach Mack and his wife Chaz helped with that a lot. When I first got here, I didn't have a place immediately, and they welcomed me in. I think I knew Coach Mack for a total of 10 minutes before he invited me over for the night, and that first day just spoke volumes to me of the people I was coming to work with and the people of Silver City, and they really helped my transition a lot, and the other coaches on the staff and their wives have helped a lot, and I've gotten to know more people now, and it's been a smooth transition, and I've really enjoyed my short time here so far in Silver City, and I'm excited for when my fiance finally gets to move out here and we can just keep chugging along in Silver City.
So Coach Mack, you have a newborn, correct?
I do.
So how is the sleeping been since that's happened?
Not great. It's okay though. I mean, I barely sleep. My wife is a trooper. She sleeps a lot less than I do. But it's long nights, but it's all worth it for the little man. I get the best part about here is Coach Veal tells me to go home, and we'll go home, hang out with him, hang out with my wife, put him to bed, then I'll stay up and finish my work as they need to do. But yeah, sleeping's not great. I've had a lot of caffeine today, and I will continue to have caffeine today and the rest of this week. This week's been the hardest week. The long bus trip back. Didn't really just slept on the bus for a little bit, got home, baby was awake, and stayed awake and back to it. So, but it's okay. It's the joys of having a baby during football season.
So would you say that dad's strength has kicked in yet?
I mean, all my sleepiness goes away once I pick him up. So that is something that has been pretty crazy. And I don't know if it's dad's strength. I'm just trying to survive right now, if I'm being honest. But it's okay. Yeah, I'm just excited for this week, and my little man Brady's gonna have a great. He's born during football season, so he has to like football.
Did you name him after Tom Brady?
Did not. Just we just like the name. I know people are gonna say that, and I respect Tom Brady, and he's the GOAT, but that's not why we named him Brady. It's just a good name.
I mean, I had to ask.
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
so this is your first year also in Silver City, correct? So how have you been adjusting so far?
Oh, it's been great. I got here in March, right before spring ball happened, and it's been the best thing for my wife and I. We were up in the state of Washington the last 2.5 years or so, and it was time for a change for us, and to be with Coach Veal again, it was an answered prayer, and we're very blessed, very happy that we're here trying to change this thing, get this thing rolling, and we're doing that, and I firmly believe in what Coach Veal's doing and what this program's doing, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
I can say I've been impressed. I'm an outsider coming in. This is my first year here, and just looking off the record from last year, and then just seeing how you guys play this year, I just think to myself, how was this team 1-11 last year?
Yeah. I mean, we weren't here.
I know you guys weren't here either, but
I'm
just saying I've just been impressed with so far everything that everybody's done.
Yeah, last year was hard. I just know because I talked to Coach Veal when he got the job last year. It happened so fast, and didn't really get to recruit, didn't know who his team was, and to me last year was a good year, it was a learning year, but it doesn't really count in a sense because they didn't know who they had on their football team, and so we had a full year to recruit, full year to develop our guys through spring ball, through fall camp, and it just shows we're going to keep going from here. We're not done. We're not satisfied. And we have a lot more to prove, and because nothing's going to be given to us. So
what's the number one thing you enjoy about coaching here?
Number one thing, it's probably just the people. The people are awesome. It's a family-centered program within the whole athletic department, which I really enjoy. Coach Noble's awesome, all the way down to Miss Alma, who handles all of us and takes care of all of us. I haven't been able to be around as much just with the little one and my wife being pregnant, but I've been in a lot of administrations where it's not like that. everyone here supports each other, every sport. And so that's one of my favorite parts. And Silver City, it's an awesome little town. I don't think we get enough credit for how cool it is. And our players, whether they like it or not, they're going to look back and it's like, yeah, Silver City's pretty cool. You got to figure out things to do, but it's a cool little town. So.
Coach Bob, what's your favorite thing?
Yeah, and just kind of building off that, like, we spend so much time as coaches, like, around the players and around our families, to where it's like, anytime you have a boss who is so family-oriented and so wants everybody to feel included and wants everybody to know they're part of it, it's just awesome, the culture he's built, not just with the players in the program, but also with us coaches. Like, he does so much to get us to interact outside of just in the office and build relationships outside of their just football center. And to me, that's been an awesome part, because I've gotten to know I've known Coach Mack for 8 weeks now, and it feels like I've probably known him for a little longer. And I think Coach Vio was saying that, he goes, wow, it feels like you've been here for a lot longer than that. And it's just like the way he runs his program has that feeling on you. And that's been the easiest thing for me, because I've moved around so much in the last 15, 16 months, to where I've lived in 4 places in that time, and being in a place where it was so, this is the easiest transition I've made, to where it's like I've shown up to place and I felt instantly welcome. I felt instantly to where I could talk to anybody about all sorts of things, and it just made a transition moving so far away from everybody I knew previously to a place where I knew nobody. So that part of just the family culture in the athletic department and in the coaching staff's been the best part.
All right, I got the last question for you guys here. Same question I asked the girls before they walked out. If you're talking to somebody who's not from Silver City, what is something that they must do while they're here?
Well, I'll go first, because my list is short. Like, because I was listening to them and I'm like, well, the catwalk thing sounded cool, so I should definitely go try and check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't had a ton of free time since moving here, so I need to probably go and do some more research before I can answer that question better for our listeners. But I mean, just exploring. I'll say what I'm looking forward to. It's just all the nature around here. I'm looking forward to, once having some downtime after the season, after recruiting, going and exploring the catwalk and the Gila some more, and just kind of getting outdoors.
I mean, I got here in March too, and my wife was pregnant, so we didn't get to do a ton, but I think you have to go to Don Juan's and get yourself a burrito, because that's one of the best burrito spots I've ever had. There's another place too that's, any burrito shop in this town is amazing. You gotta go try that. I think walking downtown is very cool, because it kind of takes you back in time, and my wife really enjoys that. And then anytime, I live 5 minutes from the Gila, I'll go ride my mountain bike or just go for a walk up there with my dog. And I mean, it's incredible. I don't think it gets enough. I mean, I know a lot of people know about the Gila, but I don't think I didn't understand how awesome it was until we got here. And obviously, talking to Jack, he does something different every weekend or every day. So he's told me about multiple things I need to go try. And then you go play golf too. I like playing golf. So
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going play some golf too.
All right, thank you guys for coming on the podcast today.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having us.
We'll be right back after this quick message from our Mustang Pride partner. If you've ever got a hankering for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, why don't you stop on down by Denny's, as we're open 24/7, and not to mention, it's Rawhide's favorite place to eat. Mustangs will be back in action this week. The men's tennis team will travel to the ITA Regional in Dallas, Texas, to compete for a chance to go to the ITA Cup in Georgia. The volleyball team has 3 matches this week. They get UT Permian Basin, Dallas Baptist, University of Texas at Tyler. The football team this week will be home, and it'll be homecoming, as they will be host to Midwestern State University. The homecoming parade, I believe, starts around 10 a.m. We have volleyball at noon against Texas at Tyler, followed by the 6 p.m. matchup of homecoming in Midwestern State. So we hope to see you there, Mustang fans. And to round things out, the women's golf team is currently playing in Goodyear, Arizona at the RJGA Shootout. They are in day 2 of the shootout, as they finished tied for 9th after day 1. This has been the 6th edition of Rawhide's Mob, presented by Hatch State Line Toyota and Hatch Ford of Silver City. For Pat, Briningstool, Matt Alexander, Madelynn, Culp, Bria Augustine, and Madison Gardner, I'm Jake Wetzel. Please have a safe, healthy rest of your day. #RareBreed.